during that period of time, he had some fairly marked increases in heart rate for him, running a normal 55, and then he was 140, and he increased to 160 and 180 by the time he was actually closing the hatch. And that's been our experience to date. Now, because of this, we have some concern as to whether there is a large physiologic cost to activity in a hard suit outside the spacecraft doing work. And we have to know this as we plan for longer and longer programs. So there's a safety factor that's involved, as well as gathering information for planning ahead.
We were approximately 100 miles northeast of Cape Kennedy at the time, and we're quite surprised to see the contrail and the rocket itself emerge directly ahead of our aircraft, and apparently much closer than we would have anticipated. It had hardly come into view with a very vivid contrail that rose somewhat above our altitude. We were at 31,000 feet, and the contrail and the rocket itself appeared possibly at 40 or 50,000 feet. And almost immediately after sighting it, we were all quite startled by the appearance of a great cloud, yellow cloud, somewhat sulfur in color, that was absolutely enormous. We all immediately guessed that probably the Gina had been destroyed, or the self-destruction had occurred at some point.
We will make available to you the information as rapidly as we acquire it, and yet, as you know, there will be some time before the data can be reduced and some understanding of what really happened in any detail. The only other point I would like to make is that we are proceeding with the alternate mission that we had planned. We are proceeding to clear the pad, find out what the damage there was, and to move forward with the augmented target docking adapter, which will fly as soon as we can complete the launch preparations and as soon as we can determine what the problem with today's flight was. The earliest possible time that that could occur is somewhere about 3 weeks from now.
Past. There is movement across the deck now. Movement across the deck as people move out to look at it. The orange and white chute. Brilliant. The spacecraft swinging gently beneath it. Spacecraft when it came down directly in front of the prime recovery ship for that flight, the Wasp. Gemini 10 is descending slightly to the stern and to the red light on the bottom of the body of the aircraft blinking. That of altitude, having gone better than 400 nautical miles into space. Word, Andrew Young, Major Collins, talked to John Stonecipher, who is the NASA recovery team leader. And
well, it's certainly a pleasure to be here. It's a real wonderful feeling to be part of the Navy on a flight, but it's even more tremendous to see a large part of the Navy when you get back from one.
And one over on the other side. So both swim teams are completely deployed, and one frogman has given his arms spread sign that the forward edge of our elevator hoist is going down, and
past. There is movement across the deck now. Movement across the deck. Blades making that familiar beating sound. And waiting now. The red light on the bottom of the body of the aircraft blinking. That of altitude, having gone better than 400 nautical miles into space. Word, possibly, until the next Gemini flight. Of course.
60 million people like very much to think it's enough to say hello. That's it, guys. That's all live, John.
Very young. Major Collins talked to John Stonecipher, who is the NASA recovery team leader. And
a ticket to a Ferris wheel. It's a great big 5-foot-long ticket, which you'll have to take up to the top to the spacecraft. Now, the word's on pad 19.
It's quiet in the blockhouse as we continue to monitor at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.